Hello friends, it's Missy Shipman with Missy's Glad Heart Studio. Thank you for being a part of our Erin's Angels fundraiser, Feeding the Future of Central New York. I'd like to share with you what's included in your kit in this happy package to create these fun and colorful cards for you to share with those you love. So inside this goodie bag are all kinds of treasures. I'm going to slide them out so I can go over things with you. Okay. We have some candy treats, some Skittles, taste the rainbow. Those are a lot of fun for you to enjoy or to share with those that you give the cards to. There is a package of the greetings, the punch clouds, and Stampin' Dimensionals. So I'm just going to quickly open this and show you. These are our mini dimensionals, and these are double-sided foam adhesive. So they're great for adding depth to your cards and kind of creating that cushion so that there's a lot of dimension. Those are great to adhere elements to your cards. Also in the pack are a variety of sentiments and all the punch clouds. So you'll be able to mix and match the designs that you want to use for your cards. You'll be making 8 cards. And in each of the striped bags, there are materials for 4 cards. So let me show you. Each assortment of the papers is a little bit different. And so you'll want to keep them separate as you're sorting, or if you choose to mix and match, you're totally welcome to. The patterns are all from the same Rainbows and Sunshine Designer Series paper pack, and so all of the pieces front and back will coordinate well. But I've arranged them for you so that you can make them in the sets of 4. So we have an orange set, the yellow bag stripe. I'm going to just leave packaged for right now so they don't get mixed up, but I'll explain how we put those together. And then these are some of the Artistry Blooms sequins, adhesive back sequins. These are so much fun to use. Here's a package opened up so I can show you. They are in 4 different colors and 2 different sizes. Let me just clear there so you can see a little more easily. Beautiful, happy rainbow colors. They've got a lot of iridescence to them, so they coordinate with many of our colors. And then we have 2 of the mini paper pumpkin boxes. These are food safe, so you can package cookies or baked goods inside, and it's very easy to assemble them. You're going to just fold on all of the creased parts. And you'll notice I'm keeping the shiny side on the inside, but if you like, you can have that shiny side on the outside of your box. It's up to you. Once you have all the pieces scored on those lines and creased, you're going to put together the side that has the 2 squares side by side. That piece is the bottom of your box. So you fold up those flaps, square flaps, fold over the end, and it will lock in place. Turn it and do the same thing. You're going to put those 2 squares flaps in, wrap over the end. You'll hear a kind of click as it connects here and will be secured. So you can pull away those little extra pieces of cardboard there, or they will fall away for you. That's just how when it's created, those pieces of cardboard are still in there. You could pop them out before you put it together if you like. So there you have it. You'll make 2 of these boxes. They're great for storing the cards, for delivering the gift. You can even put them in the mail. You'll just take it to the post office to get the right amount of shipping, and this can go right in the mail to a friend. Okay, so in addition to the Designer Series paper pieces, you also have these card bases. These are the basic white note cards and envelopes, and you'll notice they're pre-scored. So you're going to fold on that score line, make a nice crease, and then we're going to decorate the fronts of them. So you'll count out 4 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4. Set the other ones aside so you've got your second pack to work on later. Take out 4 of the envelopes, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you've got the pieces that you need ready to start to put them together kind of like a puzzle. So let me clear my space just a little bit more. I'm going to show you how I like to set up the pieces. Spread them out so that they're like puzzles. This way I'm going to know that I have the color combinations the way that I like them. These large pieces will be to decorate our envelope, so we can set that aside. And then you'll see we have 4 different sizes here of rectangles. And so I'm going to spread them out so you can see each card is going to have one piece of each design. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I'm going to just match up like a green. I'll put a green next to this. And then there's a blue. I can put the blue above the green. Here's a blue above the rainbow. And here's a rainbow above the blue. Okay, so now I've got my puzzle started here. Then I'm going to add this long rectangle piece. I already have a rainbow here and here, so let's add it to this one. I have a dark blue and a dark blue here, so I can put it there. I have a swirly blue here and here, and that will leave the green. Oh, I'm going to switch it up because I didn't want the green in the green, so I'll put the green there and the swirly here. So now I have just this last piece to fill in, and this is the easy part because it's whatever's left. I don't have any green here yet, so I'm going to put my green. I don't have any light blue there, we'll add that one. And you can have the little swirlies facing up, facing sideways, facing down. You can decide on the square piece. And we have our Misty Moonlight darker blue and our rainbows. So now I have my 4 pieces puzzles put together. And you'll notice that on a sample card here, I had the larger rectangle over on the left. My samples here have it over on the right. It doesn't make a difference. I'll switch it around so you can see how it's still taking up that same amount of space and it will cover our card. So I'm going to just reverse those pieces like that. And so it's really up to you. You're going to be covering the center space with your embellished focal points so that where the pieces intersect will be covered. So it's just a personal preference here how you'd like to spread them out. Once you have them spaced out, you can go ahead and adhere them to the card fronts. So I'm going to fold on that score line. And then I'm going to take my multi-purpose glue. I forgot to tell you about that in your kit too. The full container of glue called Tombow Multi-Purpose Liquid Glue has 2 tips. It has a pen tip and a broad tip. I tend to use the pen tip. The broad tip is kind of like a flatter surface if you want to spread out a lot of glue. I like to teach people to use just a thread of the glue. You only need a tiny little bit. So I'm going to start with one of my puzzles, flip each piece over, add a little bit of adhesive. Now a little goes a long way, so you'll see it's just kind of like a thread of glue that I'm placing there. And this will go at the front. And I'm going to leave a border of white all the way around the card. Let me move that one for a moment. Okay, now I'm going to take this next rectangle piece, a little bit of glue. You can kind of walk around the edges with it or scriggle in the middle, but you only need a very fine little bit of glue. I'm going to add that. See, now I'm still keeping that border around each shape. Take my green, flip it over, and you may discover that you like the designs on the other side of your paper, and you can feel free to mix and match the designs any way that you like. And now here is the 4th rectangle. Little bit of glue, and I'm going to fill that in. So you'll go ahead and do that with all 4 puzzles. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to set them aside now just because I want to show you the next step, which will be putting our focal point together. I'll move those aside. I'm going to keep them all together though, because they're ready to put together my other cards. In fact, I can tuck them right into this orange stripe bag and I'll know I have them to work with later. Okay, so for each of the card fronts, I have a piece of Pool Party rectangle paper and a piece of this marvelous Mother of Pearl designer series paper, specialty paper. I'm going to use just, again, a fine line of that mono liquid glue. Adhere it like this. And then I get to decide how do I want this to be. Do I want it to be a cloud design? Do I want it to be a rainbow design? I get to decide. And there are lots of pieces to choose from. So you'll notice here, with the greeting, "You make me happy when skies are gray," we used a gray cloud behind a punched pool party card or cloud. Or you can have it be a white cloud and a blue pool party. Or you might want to experiment with the rainbows. And to make our rainbow pieces, you're going to what we call fussy cut the rainbow. Using some scissors, you're going to cut around carefully around a rainbow to include it on your card. So when you're doing fussy cutting, the trick is to move the paper rather than the scissors. So you notice my left hand that's holding the paper, that's moving, whereas the right hand with the scissors is more stationary. That's just helping me keep control. I'm going to move this so that I'm just leaving the tiniest of white border there. And now that rainbow is ready to add to our front. So let's go ahead. This one we'll make with the rainbow. I'm going to use my multi-purpose glue to adhere that. And then now the fun part with adding some dimension. So I'll go over to my packet of greetings, of sentiments, and we'll pick out what we'd like this one to be. How about a hello friend? So for my banners, you'll notice that the ends are not yet trimmed when they come in your kit. So I want to show you how you can make that little flag banner. What I like to do is cut one strip up the middle and then little bit cuts from edge to edge. Okay, so I'll cut up the middle and then edge to edge. That's one way to do it. There's actually several ways. You'll get to experiment with different ways of doing that. Now we'll find our dimensionals. Let's see where I hid those on my table. These mini dimensionals are this great foam sticker adhesive. I'm going to take a couple of those, put them on the back, and that's going to adhere the banner to the rainbow, and it will also pop it up to give it that fun dimension and depth. Hello, friend. And we'll do the same thing on the back of the pool party. Generally, I like to put one in each corner and then one in the middle. And that's just going to help cushion my card so when it's put in an envelope or in a gift package, it won't kind of crush as easily. It will keep that dimension, that foam, and take those away. The little wax paper liners you just need to take off. And then you can position it onto your card. Isn't that fun? Now, the last thing we're going to do is add some pretty sparkles to this. So these are our Artistry Bloom sequins. They already have sticker on the back, so you just have to pick it off and put it onto the card. And there's no rules about what colors you want to put together. I tend to work with odd numbers, so I'm going to take a large and a small and put them here, and then maybe over on this side have a large and a couple more smalls so that I have an odd number total. But there, again, you can decide how you'd like them to be. There isn't really any rule about that. So there is my hello friend. So let's go back and do one more together that will show another tag, and that will use the clouds. So let me take a piece. I've got put my puzzle back together here. Okay, slide that over. I'm looking for that little blue piece, and of course, because I put them in my bag, I've got them a little bit out of order. There we are. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll put them back in my bag so I can keep track. Here's my 4. I'm going to glue them onto the card front. So same as I did before, I'm going to crease that nice heavy basic white cardstock. Now you might experiment and have your cards, some of them be portrait orientation instead of landscape. You can experiment. It just depends on how the designs are in the paper. So for example, let's see. This one here, the rainbows have a definite pattern, right, of an up and a down. It would be a little funny to see the rainbows on their side. So this one needs to be a landscape orientation. But this one here that I'm working on now, I'll glue them on and I'll show you what I mean. I could make it a different orientation if I chose. So I'm using my adhesive, and I'll position that there. Again, I'm going to leave a nice white border around all of the pieces. So this one I still most likely will keep as a landscape card, but I want to show you that you can use the elements in the kit many ways and be your own designer with these projects and materials. Here's the last one, this blue squigglies. Okay, there we are. So my card, if I wished, I could have it orient portrait or landscape. Let's see once we put together our other elements. I'm going to take that mother of pearl paper and adhere that to the pool party. Like this, great. And so you'll see I could put it this way if I chose to, but I do like the proportions this way. So let's see what happens when I add a cloud and another cloud there. It could go in this direction, or I could orient it as designed as a landscape card. But again, you can mix and match and have fun playing with that. So here's my white cloud I'm going to secure first. And then this one that has the pool party pattern, like so. This one, let's have it be a thank you card. So I'm going to make, this time I'm just going to go in and out to make this swallowtail or banner tip. So in and out, just to show you a couple different ways you can experiment using that. You could also put the banner on just straight, or if you wanted, instead of making swallowtails, you can just make diagonal lines like that. So that's another way. I'll put this one on so you can see the variation. I'm going to add our dimensionals like this. And that's a sweet thank you. So once we put the dimensionals on here, and as you're working in your kit, you may decide you want to go one card by one card, or you might like to do it more assembly line style, where you put all your puzzle pieces together and then you assemble all of the card sentiment pieces. You can decide as the crafter what way is most comfortable for you. Some people like to assemble cards and get all the way done except for the greeting. And that way they have a card that they could use for many different occasions. And when they find out it's going to be a birthday card or a thank you card, they can simply add on that greeting. So that's something to think about too. All right, let's add some more of these fun sequins. I love all the different colors and how they pick up the different tones that are in the papers. There we are. Here's our thank you. And here's that birthday that we created together. So it's as simple as that, friends. It's in terms of just sorting out your puzzle pieces and then adding the elements to create the cards as you design. Remember that there are 2 packs because there are 2 sets of papers that you can use. Now, when your cards are ready, are completed like this, you'll want to be able to share them with a friend. And a fun way to decorate the envelope is to add designer series paper. So what I'm going to do is now take one of the pieces, the 3x6 pieces that was left from my kit, and I'm going to adhere it to the flap. So I'll take a little of my Tombow multi-purpose glue and wiggle that around the edges of just the flap. Then position the paper right along that fold, that seam. Rub it to help the paper adhere to the envelope. And then I can use my paper snips to just carefully give it a haircut all the way around the edge here. Now you'll see I'm going to be left with a generous piece of designer series paper that I can use for another project. I can do lots of different things with this extra piece, and you can create lots of layouts. You'll have 4 pieces like this that you could play with. It left actually 8, right? 2 times 4. So now we have a coordinating envelope with each of our greeting cards ready to give to a friend. Thanks so much for watching. Please reach out to me with any questions you have. And again, thank you so much for your support of Erin's Angels. Thank you.